Roxanna Bina for Alucina Friends. Hi, Ben.
How are you?
Yeah. So, how different was it to be part of this film adaptation of the musical you were part of? Different challenges, different approaches. Tell me about that.
I think it was sort of about balancing, um, on the one hand, all of the instincts and the memories that I have from the stage piece and all of the foundation of the character that I created, and, remembering that and falling back into that, and allowing myself to, rely on that and fall back into those muscle memories. But then at the same time, to try to bring the performance a bit closer to the ground, make it a bit more internal, a bit more naturalistic, a bit more humanistic, just a little bit less theatrical and less broadcasting for the back of the house and only for the intimacy of the camera. So it was sort of like funneling through a different filter, but the same material.
What is this film truly about for you? What are the themes that are important?
For me, I think it's about the fact that everybody in their own way is hungry for connection, that no matter how you present or how you appear, if you're somebody who is very obviously lonely or struggling, like Evan, who is awkward and can't string a sentence together and is looking at his feet and, pulling on his clothes, that person is having their own struggle connecting. But so is Alana, who is, beautiful and outgoing and smart and overachieving. And so is Zoe, who is, very cool and laid back and nonchalant. She too wants connection. I think it's about remembering that no matter how we perceive people or how we might judge people based on our first impression or based on how they're presenting, everybody has some kind of internal struggle, and everybody wants to feel seen and heard and understood, and that we have the ability to do that for each other if we would just go out on a limb.
So it seems like, on one hand, the world is more inclusive and open minded than ever. But despite that, there has never been so much more bullying and teen suicide. What are your thoughts on this, and what do you think needs to happen to help better the situation? And can this film help that situation and conversation?
I sincerely hope that this film can do that, and can at the very least make young people feel less alone or feel like their worries and their struggles and their loneliness are valid and are normal and are something that is universal and that doesn't make them strange or different. It makes them human. I think a huge part of why that struggle is happening, particularly, is the online social media and the fact that kids are having not only to learn how to present themselves and socialize and interact with people for the first time in real life, which is already such an uncomfortable and difficult time of life, to those growing pains and figuring out who you are and how to communicate. But then at the same time, they're having to curate a image of themselves online and create a brand for themselves and present themselves in a way that is palatable or likable or interesting or it's like this having to create two personalities at once. And I think that pressure is really unfair for young people. And it also makes it much easier from the anonymous place of behind your screen or from your phone to express hate or judgment or to tear people down when you don't have to do it in front of them to their face. It makes that way easier and more accessible in a very dangerous way. So I guess I would just hope that, as social media continues to grow and become, part of the fabric of society, that we reach a point where we're not encouraging reliance on it, where we are acknowledging that it's important and that it's a great source of community and connection, but also encouraging kids to spend a lot of time away from it and to invest more in the human relationships and the people that are there in front of them who can see who they are 360 and not just what their photos and their captions say.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you
I,
very much.
thank you.